We're in the pre-show. You know what?
What?
I'll
You
be
get
right back.
that too? Oh, Chris
right
is going to
back.
pop one. Braden literally went from 0 degrees to 65 degrees here in a week. What a fun day.
What do you think the best nickname in NFL history is? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it was just announced that the Carolina Panthers hired Terrence Pot Roast Knighton as
Pot roast.
Yeah, Pot Roast is great. And I really always loved Floyd Pork Chop Womack.
What did I just walk back into? What what are we discussing? And here you go, everybody. There you go.
Oh, Megatron's good. That's a good one by Andrew.
Yeah, but it's like that's a serious one. You know?
Do you
like
think
you went pork chop and what was the other one? Snacks.
Well, no,
David Snacks here.
pork chop and pot roast.
Who wants to do it? Anybody want to do it?
Lights out, Merriman. That's a good choice.
No, I'm not doing third person. I'll forget. I mean, if you're just going like if you're not looking for a silly one, I think sweetness is up there.
That's terrific. Yeah.
What are we doing, by the way?
Best nickname in NFL history.
Prime time.
Prime time. Yeah.
Coming off that big win over the weekend.
Prime.
Yeah. I think Snacks Harrison's really good.
Yeah.
The Minister of Defense for Reggie White was up there too.
Yeah, that's very fitting. Yeah.
It's a good one, yeah.
That's layers to that. There's layers to that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, gentlemen, do we want to start this? Takes on takes. Shindig.
Only after I acknowledge the worst nickname of all time, Tom Terrific. I've never heard anybody call Tom Brady Tom Terrific, but that is a real thing, apparently.
Well, it's because he stole it from the true Tom Terrific, Tom Seaver, starting pitcher for the New York Mets, but that's okay.
I wouldn't know because not a baseball consumer.
It's disappointing. Joe is for like 2 months of the year, and then he'll be like, hey, Chris, should I still be interested? And I'll be like, no, Joe, they're not going to be good this year. And then he's like, oh, okay, and then he just stops watching.
That's right.
Like these conversations go every year with me and Joe.
They'll be happening soon.
All right, here we go.
Mighty Swell.
Today's live stream is brought to you by our friends at Mighty Swell, the Mighty Swell Adult Seltzer. Hey, Joe. Hey, Chris.
Chris,
Kyle.
what we need on that intro video is Chris in his suit
from the duties.
Yeah.
The suit didn't go over very well. I watched back to the video, but it didn't go over very well.
On the comments?
Yeah.
I loved it.
No, I appreciate that. I was upset.
You look like Morty at the school dance.
I don't know what that is a reference to.
Rick and Morty.
Oh, not a Rick and Morty guy, Shub.
Never seen it. No,
I have. I have seen it.
Ooh, wait. After the chat for
Rick and
Chris
Morty.
and Joe not being Rick and Morty guys, please.
At least I know what it is.
I know what it is. I've just never seen it.
Oh.
All right.
We got an F too from freaking Trips. So thank you.
Appreciate that.
Red.
All right.
An F.
So welcome in. Takes on takes. As we do every Monday. The Fs are just loaded into the chat. Thanks for that, Kyle.
How has life been for you guys? No football on the weekends. Isn't it weird?
Sucks.
So weird.
Hey, but that's not true. We had FCS football this weekend.
Yeah, with Deion Sanders, we talked about it in the pre-show.
I have a legitimate question about the 2021 NFL draft, and I'm hoping somebody can answer it for me.
Yeah.
Cordell Volson is playing in the spring season.
Oh, wow.
The tackle for North Dakota State. So is he in this draft class or not?
Well,
I have no idea.
We need March 1st to get here.
I guess.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm trying to catch some of the North Dakota State game. It's like, oh yeah, Cordell Wilson's playing tackle.
Left tackle or right?
He's playing tackle. He's going to be a right tackle.
Okay.
Some hot takes already. So if anybody knows that answer, like if you're playing in the FCF season in the spring, are you still eligible for the draft? Please let me know. and I can adjust MDM if he's not.
If he's not available.
Because right now he's in there. Oh, Joe with the Built Bar.
Joe.
3 boxes of the white chocolate showed up.
Oh, Lordy.
So I'm good for like a week.
All right, gentlemen. Do we want us to get into the takes from the listeners?
Please.
You know what? This one from Kyle is pretty interesting because it allows us to,
thank you,
to kind of discuss some things. Kyle, the commissioner's take: there will be 20 or more players tagged this offseason prior to the deadline. The record is 19 in 2012, he believes. Fun fact: 5 of those 19 were kickers.
5 kickers.
2 punters I've gotten the French.
Is Kyle the commish willing to do a Built Bar bet with me on this? Because I am taking the under.
I will also take the under on a record-setting franchise tag.
Yeah,
effort.
I think this is unfair to Kyle the commish, but you know what, Kyle the commish, I'm going to come to your defense here. This is extremely unfair what the 2 gentlemen on the show are doing to you right now.
What did we do? He gave us a take.
Don't accept the bet. That's going to be my suggestion to you. Do not accept the bill.
Might as well cash in here on this take.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be here.
How much is a box, he says?
Listen, Kyle, I can only warn you one more time. Do not take the bet from the gentleman, okay?
Dude, we're going to look so bad when like 23 is like shatters the record.
Like every team.
God, these idiots.
Which, if you think every team could drop the franchise tag, the next 2 days of draft dudes tomorrow and Wednesday will be great shows for you because we go through every team.
So that's a fun way of looking at it.
Tag candidate.
You would need 12 out of 20 out of 32 teams to do it. That's such a high percentage.
Yeah, I mean, we just did that with 5th-year options, right?
Yeah.
Well, selling that take. Sam might have gotten the answer. Or no, actually, reading the end of his sentence, he does not have the answer.
No, he didn't get any closer to the mystery that is Cordell Volson's draft eligibility than we were at the start of the show, unfortunately.
All right, Vontel, you get a take up here. The Bills, Dolphins, and Jets will draft a running back in the top 40, with Miami going Najee Harris, Buffalo going Javonte Williams, and New York going Travis Etienne.
So are the Bills trading back from 30 or up from 60?
I don't like the order that those running backs are coming off the board in.
Well, it'll probably be, if New York goes ETN, they'll go ETN at 23.
Yes.
Right. I'd be really surprised if he went as the 3rd back off the board.
Brandon Beane came out and said in his end-of-year press conference that it is not fair to put the lack of running success for the Buffalo Bills in 2020 on Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. So unless he was just kidding because he wanted to get one of these guys in the draft, he's pretty in on his backfield that he's assembled, whether I agree with that or not. I think the Bills are the least likely team to draft a running back in the top 40.
Out of those
3. Yeah.
Kyle Kamish says he'll do a 6-bar bet to Joe or Kyle.
Oh, I respect the frugalness of the bet, but Joe is going to tell you it's only worth doing the bet if you do the big box.
Well, I don't think you can order 6. I think you have to order them at 18 increments.
Yeah, I have to wait 5 years to get mine, so. But I will get them at some point.
You do. If you're going to get that box of Built, you could also buy a box of Built Bars. And
I could do that.
Highly recommend them. Promo code Locked On for 20% off.
20% off your next order.
Yeah.
Can I share a take with you guys before we get into some other listener takes? Because I had to take the other day a 3-team NFL trade, and these are not all the particulars. There's more to this trade than what I'm about to say, but this is the basic framework of the deal. So Kyle, don't say you're out yet. What is it, Shark Tank? You're out before I've even.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Deshaun Watson to the Miami Dolphins.
I'm in. I'm back in.
I knew that was back in. That's why I said I didn't want him out just yet. Deshaun Watson to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
3 to the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
A first next year to the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Tua to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers send 24 to Houston.
I don't think that's enough for Houston.
I said basic framework of the deal. Pittsburgh solves their long-term quarterback problem with Tua. Miami gets Deshaun Watson. Maybe Houston wants to pick a quarterback at 3, so Miami is able to cash in on Tua by including the third team into the deal.
You might get away with this if the second 2 from Miami is 18 this year. Because you could say, hey, Houston, you can get 3, 18, and 24 all in the same draft.
Plus Tua?
No, because Tua's going to Pittsburgh.
Tua's
I don't
going
know if I like Tua's fit with Pittsburgh.
The reason why it came up is because I thought of a scenario where maybe Houston doesn't want Tua and they want the number 3 pick or the number 2 pick if it's the Jets. And, Sam or Tua has to find another destination. So they rope in a third team to make the compensation all work.
I have a question for Kyle.
Okay.
You mentioned that you didn't view Pittsburgh as a good fit for Tua. Is there a team that you look at in the NFL that you say, wow, I really like what they have there. I think that would work well for Tua? Like, just throw away need and reality here. Just like, is there a team that you really like for his skill set?
I'm trying to think from a personnel angle. If there's any that I really like. I kind of like him in like the Shanahan offenses.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yak guys, Kittle,
correct.
Ayuk and Samuel, wide zone rush. Yeah, I like that. Dig it. I dig it.
I mean, that would be my top choice probably.
This take from Taylor. Kyle Pitts becomes second only to Randy Moss in rookie touchdowns.
What's the total?
Knew you were going to ask that, and I wasn't prepared to give you an answer.
That's a lot of touchdowns. And we don't know what team he plays for.
Hold on here. There's got to be like a... Why is this structured this way?
17 per Sam.
Listen, Sam, that's why you're the assistant GM. All right.
I will take the under. So wait. We need to know who number 2 is. This is a very layered. Moss had 17. Evans had 12. So will he have 13 or more? I'll say no.
No.
Okay. Sam Darnold will be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears in week 1.
They're running out of options for it to be anybody else if they want to make a change.
I mean, I buy into it. I think there's a very clear course for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I wonder about other teams, right, and getting involved into the Sam Darnold conversation. But it makes the most sense for the Bears. That's the most logical in my mind.
Chris, can you get the one from Braden at 741?
I can do that, yes. Is it this one?
My guy.
Richie Grant will sneak his way into round 1.
I think he's got a real shot at safety 1.
But first round.
Like Justin Bieber said, never say never.
Wow.
Was that
you shouldn't say never, but I mean, I don't think
Jaden Smith.
No, never say never is Justin Bieber.
Okay, good.
I would say it's unlikely that he's a first round pick. I do think there's a realistic chance that he's the first safety off the board.
So what's his ceiling as a player?
40.
So if you're going to say the ceiling's 40, you're not going to give him an extra 10 spots of wiggle room to say he might sneak into the first round?
Might, but I'm saying unlikely.
Good take. I'm in.
Ooh.
I'll bet you right now Richie Grant safety 1. I'll bet you a box of Built Bar.
Not taking the bet.
Chris?
Not interested. No, thank you.
Damn, I was hoping for some free Built Bars, but oh well.
Haven't we done this take on the show before? Friday Night Lights, the best football movie of all time from Von Tell. I think we've done this.
Yeah, we have done that.
The answer is Draft Day with Kevin Costner. I mean,
the answer is Remember the Titans with
the answer is Any Given Sunday.
Denzel Washington.
Yes, it is Remember the Titans. Any chance I can discuss Kevin Costner on the show, I feel like it's now required at this point to discuss. All right, I'm going to put up this trade that I'm going to need your guys' help figuring out here. Okay. So the 49ers get Sam Darnold, Stephon Gilmore, the 15th pick, and the 34th pick.
So they get a lot.
New England gets
a lot.
Jimmy G, Azeez Al-Shahir, and pick 23. The Jets get pick 12, a 2022 2, and a 7th rounder from New England. I think everybody says no in this 3-team trade.
San Francisco is the only team that doesn't say no.
Because are they actually giving up 12?
Both teams.
They're giving up
12 and Jimmy G and getting Darnold, Gilmore, pick 15 and 30.
And Azeez Al-Shahir.
And the Jets give up 23 to pick 12. They pick 3 and 12 then at that point. That's what the Jets get out of the deal. And New England gets Jimmy G back. No, thank you.
So the Patriots give up 15 Stephon Gilmore and a future 2 in order to get Jimmy G and pick 20 and trade back. No.
Yeah, I'm selling.
And for that reason, I'm out.
For that reason, I'm out. This one from Sam. Jalen Phillips is the draft's most talented edge rusher, but he'll fall because of the concussions.
I agree. He's the most physically talented pass rusher.
Ooh. Overpay in terms of physical gifts?
Pass rusher, not defensive end, pass rusher. So I think Pay has a huge advantage in his run defense. But I think if you're just going to look at what his ability is when he's rushing the passer, he's shown so much more and won in a ton of versatile ways.
Jalen Phillips has a first-round skill set. I think that the part where he puts he will fall, I agree with that.
So from the Sports Note, Teddy Bridgewater will not be a Panther in 2021. Now, he's unfollowed the team on Instagram and has set his account to private. So,
I gotta look at expect, Teddy.
Yeah, he's getting paid some good money
to
be there. Yeah, they're kind of stuck. They would get $20 million in dead cap to save $3 million. There's not like a clean opportunity to get out of this deal. Marty Herney's final parting gift to the Carolina Panthers.
That and the number 8 pick, too, technically. Hey, we desperately want a franchise quarterback. Great. The only thing you're going to have to work with is pick 8 and pick 40. Good luck.
And you're locked into Teddy for this year.
Did you guys see the story today? I don't know why it just dawned on me to bring this up to you guys. But I read a story today that one Jeff Bezos is potentially interested in buying an NFL franchise.
I did see this.
He's got the cash to do that.
Well, he does, and I don't know, I know maybe not a lot of people keep up with the Jeff Bezos news, but he is no longer like the acting CEO of Amazon. He's transitioning out of that role, so he's going to have some free time on his hands. And yeah, the bank account has a few zeros in it. So,
is there a team that's for sale or needs an owner?
Washington is the team that the story that I read kind of like brought up.
Snyder would sell.
But yeah, I think that's the big thing is would Snyder sell the team? And I don't know if the answer to that is
Detroit a possibility?
Aren't his minority owners looking to sell their shares because
I think they're done with him, right? And they want out. But is Bezos really interested in just buying minority shares? I mean, he has enough money; he's probably just going to want to buy a whole team.
He can buy the NFL, right? So
so
he's going to want control.
So I saw that story today. I thought that was interesting.
I'm going to address this once because I see it in the comments.
Oh, I know what it is. I wasn't going to put it up. Do you want to put it up?
We know that Quinn Miners is not in the MDM, but we are having our web developers add schools to the database so we can add Division II and Division III players. And for whatever reason, which is above our pay grade, it's taking way longer than expected. We understand he's there. You can send me a DM. We will send you his TDN scouting premium profile for the price of on the house so you can read our full trait-by-trait scouting report on Quinn Miners. We know he's not in there. We get tweeted about it every day, and nobody's more mad about it than I am. It's above our pay grade. So he'll get in there when he gets in there. But thankfully, because he had a great Senior Bowl, he doesn't need our help to get any more publicity.
I didn't know you were getting tweets every day about it, so I'll start doing that.
Every day. So, Chris, please tweet me every day. And
every morning.
Quinn Miners is not an MDM.
I'll start my day that way. This one's interesting from Liam. The Seahawks will fire Pete Carroll after the 2021 season.
Joe, stop shaking your head.
What is this take that you have?
Pete Carroll's a middling football coach. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Pete Carroll. Sorry.
I'm not a fan of Pete Carroll either, but like the Seahawks can make the playoffs, and they're not going to fire him if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to fire Pete Carroll. I just love to take an opportunity to say that I don't think he's one of the best football coaches in the NFL.
What does that mean, Joe? Is he top 15? Is he top 10? Where does he fall in the Joe Marino ranking of coaches?
He's had a lot of success at Seattle. I think the team could have had more success if they had a different head coach.
Kyle, would you consider that a dodge? I don't think my question was really answered there.
It is a dodge.
But
I think his teams are often poorly prepared. I don't like his situational management. I don't like his philosophies. I think he's dated. I'm not in on Pete Carroll.
How many current head coaches in the National Football League would you take to win a football game over Pete Carroll?
Don't ask him this question. It's going to piss me off even more. Go ahead, Joe.
That's the question that I take very seriously, that I want to put the time in to answer it. But I would say, this is somebody who thinks that rushing attempts is a correlative statistic to wins. Like, no, I can't do it.
Put him in a bucket.
Yeah, can I get like a tier list?
Third tier head coach in the NFL.
Out of how many tiers?
5.
I have a
the elite head coaches, the Andy Reids of the world. Okay, then you have like the excellent head coaches, but don't have like enough to say they're elite, and then it's the Pete Carroll tier.
You putting Tomlin in tier 2? I'm just trying to wrap my head around.
Okay. Yeah, Tomlin's in tier 2.
I was gonna say Vontel. No, this is a bad take. Mike Tomlin is a much better football coach than people give him credit for.
Tomlin deserves like a Nobel Peace Prize for keeping that locker room together when AB was still there, and all the stuff behind closed doors that nobody ever heard about, that only became apparent once AB left.
Joseph, our friend Trevor is here. Hashtag new vocabulary for Joe here on a Monday.
Yes.
Take the number 6 is the worst jersey a QB can wear, as displayed by the fact that the greatest NFL quarterback to ever wear the number is none other than the morose Jay Cutler. I have to look this up. I don't know what.
I don't know what that word means.
Do you want to give it a shot?
Not knowing what morose is off the top of my head.
So I don't associate the quality of the number based on who's worn it in the past. I talk about the aesthetics of the number, how it looks on a jersey. 19's as bad as it gets. So to me, 19's the worst quarterback number.
I'll just be transparent with everybody here. You know, me and my closest friends, I don't really put a lot of stock into the number that the quarterback wears. If you're good at the position, I don't really care. You could wear 99 for all I care.
5's pretty ugly by itself too, isn't it?
Oh, disagree. 5's my favorite number.
5.
Yeah.
On a jersey. The number 5.
If you're going single digits, I like the way it looks.
Are you just talking football?
Yes.
Okay. I don't.
Morose is sullen and ill-tempered.
I had the definition up. I didn't want to interrupt our flow of conversation there to be able to.
That's a good.
Sean Black had it in the comments before all of you.
Oh.
I had it up before Sean did. Not to try to.
We got to take our opportunity to learn a new word. Morose.
Well, it's hashtag new vocabulary for Joe. Oh, guys, you know what day it is?
It's Monday.
It's Draft Dudes Do Math Day.
Because it's a day that ends in Y. Somehow we're continuing to do math. Wow, that's a lot.
So this one from Dylan. 15 total offensive linemen will be taken in rounds 1 or 2.
I'm taking the under.
Can I ask before we move on from the previous aesthetics take?
Sure. Would you like me to put it back up?
No, you don't need to do that.
All right.
Who's the best NFL player to wear the number 5 right now?
Tyrod Taylor.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's like him and Teddy Bridgewater are your options.
Mahomes wears 15, right?
Yeah, so that does nowhere close to relevant to my question, but I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
15 offensive linemen in rounds 1 and 2.
Chris is not happy.
Well, I like when we do math because it forces us to count here on the show. And
I appreciate the take here because I think this is a good offensive line year. I really do. I'm not willing to say that 23% of the picks in the first 2 rounds are offensive linemen.
But I have the TDM player rankings up, which were updated over the weekend, by the way.
So how many of our top 64 is offensive line?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. I need 15, correct?
You need 15 of them to satisfy this take.
We're just going to do offensive tackles to start. Penei Sewell, Christian Darrisaw, Rashawn Slater, Jalen Mayfield, Dylan Raduns, Jackson Carman, Liam Eichenberg, Tevin Jenkins, Sam Cosmi, Alex Leatherwood.
10?
Yes. Do you think any of those players don't go in the top 64?
Yes.
Who? Carmen's probably got the best chance to get out of the top 64.
That was the name in my head. So
okay, so you want to take him off and say there's 9?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be critical here. Interior offensive lineman, Elijah Vera Tucker. Top 64?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so there's 10. So now I need 5. Wyatt Davis.
That's a question for you.
I think there's a somewhat moderate chance he gets outside the top 64. I think he's a really solid option for the second round. Creed Humphrey.
Good chance.
Josh Myers.
What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Landon Dickerson.
Yeah.
Now you got like Trey Smith, Aaron Banks. It'll be close. That's a good number. I think you could set a reasonable over-under at 14.5.
It's a good take. I am still going to say under.
Do you think Quinn? Here you go. We're talking about offensive linemen. Do we think Quinn Miners goes in the top 64 picks?
He screams 3rd round to me.
I agree.
Deontay Brown, no way.
Braden, my guy, talking my language. I think Aaron Banks goes round 2.
He was good. Was he in the Senior Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
This take from David. It's been in there a couple of times. I'm going to give it the opportunity.
I know.
To be discussed. Listen, I see everybody's takes. Sometimes the comments come a little fast, so I have to file some of these away. Belichick is a mediocre GM at best, and AFC East teams have nothing to fear until they find a real answer at quarterback.
The last time I said this, you raked me through the coals. So have you changed your mind? Because I agree with this. I would 100% agree with this.
I think you as a divisional opponent of Bill Belichick would be foolish to feel as though you have nothing to fear in an individual game with Bill Belichick. But I think this team is in trouble until they resolve their issues at quarterback. So I think over a 16-game sample size, I don't think New England is a legitimate threat to win the division or be competitive in the division over a 16-game sample size because of the roster situation that it is right now. We have no clue how they're going to handle free agency. We have no clue who's going to play quarterback. But in any individual game, Bill Belichick has a really good chance to come up with a game plan to beat you, regardless of the talent level of the team.
I agree with Kyle. The New England Patriots like when they're on the schedule 2 times a year, even now, like I'm like, oh, it's Bill Belichick. He'll find a way. Like he has the Jets number. That'll be what it is. But as a general manager, he's been brutal the last couple of years. Like the last 5 in particular, his draft class was ranked towards the bottom in terms of production. They are brutal.
Joe, what would you rather see? This question's not fully fleshed out yet in my head. But it's something to do with a team that's spoiled at quarterback, continue to be spoiled at quarterback. So like Green Bay, right? They went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Would you rather see them get like another player at that caliber? Or would you rather see the Patriots get somebody to replace Tom Brady. Take being a Bills fan out of the equation here, but it's like some of these teams at quarterback have been so spoiled with quarterback play. Do you want to see the Patriots endure like a 20-year quarterback purgatory?
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I say yes to that, right? Like, I'm trying to think, like, what am I missing here? Of course, that's what I'd love to see that.
Let's take from Vontel. I'll give you a chance, Vontel,
because
because you had the football movie one related, which you kind of already did. So I'll give you another chance here. Not a single defensive player goes in the top 10. So I think the best place to start this conversation, guys, is we think 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10.
Yes.
So that means we have 6 picks to get 1 defensive player.
2 offensive linemen. Yeah, 1 offensive lineman. 1.
So now I have 5 picks remaining.
Jamar Chase is going to go top 10.
And I have 4 picks remaining.
Kyle Pitts will probably go top 10.
The chat, both Kyle and Braden are bringing up very good points that I think the Broncos taking a corner feels very likely.
Cowboys are at 10 as well, right?
Yes.
Or are they at 11?
Yes.
They're at 10.
So I think between Denver and Dallas, you're going to get one of those corners.
Yeah, because Farley or Surtain are coming off the board in those spots.
Yeah.
So I think in this take, I would say there 1 defensive player does go in the top 10.
But the spirit being that this is not a great year for defensive prospects compared to offensive. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a take up here, gentlemen, and hopefully you promote accordingly based on the take that I put up.
Like as a prospect or like stylistically?
So listen to the QB2 podcast from today.
I disagree on both sides of that. I think he's more Baker than he is Mitch.
I put him right in the middle. And you could see it going both ways. And there's a path to him becoming a really good starting quarterback. But I think the variance here is a total wild card. As far as, I think he could be very good, but if it doesn't work, I could see it being bad.
I have to do something. I'm sorry. Dylan, I'm trying to save you from yourself here, but when you put in a take multiple times, you then open the door for me to put it up on the screen. So it's going up. I'm sorry. It's just going up. Trevor Lawrence.
That's a fun take.
We'll have 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions in 2021. 30 interceptions. He's going to have a Jameis Winston.
It's super unlikely, but I think the idea that Trevor Lawrence could throw a lot of interceptions in year 1 based on like where he's at coming into the league, I think he's going to throw a bunch of picks. I don't think he gets to 30, but
that almost happened with Peyton Manning.
Yeah. I'm selling the tank, but I don't think it's that crazy.
Sorry, Lil, hit the wrong button. 30 just feels like a lot, guys. Like it just feels like that's a big number.
I would overwhelmingly skew towards no, we will not hit those numbers. I'm not gonna poo-poo it. I mean, we see crazy things every single year with players who we think are slam dunks who come in the league every single year and they struggle.
I wonder if there's this over-under on this.
While we're doing this, can I get a penny for either one of your thoughts on Devontae Smith saying Mac Jones over Tua at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could flip this around and ask you the same question.
Of course you could.
Because this has kind of been every time Mac Jones comes up.
Anything. Any thoughts from either of you?
I don't want to talk about
it.
It's been interesting watching Dolphins fans do mental gymnastics all day trying to justify it. And it might not mean anything, right? It might be him hyping up Mac Jones because Mac Jones doesn't have a team yet and he needs to get drafted, and all the hype he can get, the better. I had people tell me this was a Dolphins smoke screen, like they met at the Senior Bowl. Closed door private conversation. Yeah, you're going to go out and you're going to say Mac Jones is better. So everybody thinks we're not going to take you when we have the 3rd pick and we're going to have our choice of anybody who's not quarterbacks in the NFL draft. No way.
I'm treading carefully with my Tua takes.
Smart, because you got firsthand experience of what it's like when the Dolphins fan base gets a sniff of somebody who's got harsh criticism, or maybe not harsh criticism, but criticism for Tua. They're a very devout fan base, man.
I'll put up one more take here, and I owe it to Halil's Real Football Talk because I put it kind of up on the screen earlier. Take, Najee Harris is a much more complete back than Travis Etienne in terms of being able to process information, gap schemes, pass pro, and complete game, and Javonte Williams is clearly RB3.
Why is Javonte Williams clearly RB3?
Well, wait a minute. More importantly, the first sign tonight of the approval, Moraka.
I think it's a good take.
I think it's team specific.
I like Etienne a lot, and I might take him if I was going to draft a running back. I might take him first just because of him being an X factor and what he can do as a receiver. But I don't think Etienne slam dunk. I think there's notable concerns with exactly what Halil said there about the processing and just the way he presses the line of scrimmage. Sometimes he's really eager, gets the football and doesn't have enough patience. There's other times where I think he's a little bit too selective with the gaps that he's going to choose, and like he gets stuck not going anywhere. I don't think he has a ton of creativity in the open field. I think he really relies on that burst. And I'm not super convinced. Like the way that Halil's Real Football Talk framed that, I really buy into it. I think it's a good take.
I think it's a great case study of athletic profile versus instincts at the position. And I think Najee has done a great job developing himself as a player from the mental side of things to really take his game to the next level. So I don't think it's a bad take. I think Javonte Williams has some great appeal. I think he's slept on by some. I think he's a great prospect.
Those guys are really close on my board, Williams and Etienne.
And I have a feeling that they'll probably we might have somebody with not staying chalk on staff when we do our cross checks on those guys who does not have it just Harris, Etienne, Javonte.
I wonder who that would be.
No, you're going to have to wait. Find out when we do it in our meetings. Just like you guys are going to have to wait till Thursday for our next shindig get together. A great time on Takes on Takes. Went a little long today. We always hear about how you guys got to do an hour. Well, we didn't give you an hour, but we gave you about 38 minutes. And we hope you guys enjoyed tomorrow's podcast. It is AFC franchise tags. Wednesday is NFC franchise tags. Thursday, we're back on the live stream, plus 2 more shows this week. Lots of great content ahead. Kyle Krabs, Chris Schubert, Joe Marino. Thanks as always for tuning in to the Draft Dudes podcast.